Blogging for SEO can be challenging, but it doesn't have to be so difficult. In this video, I'm going to take you through the ins and outs of writing blogs for search engine optimization. So stay tuned for that. When you start to blog with the intention of optimizing for Google or Bing or other search engines, it's very important that you begin with a good keyword strategy. There are many great videos on keywords, and in this video we're going to pick up where the keywords leave off, actually writing the blog. When we blog for SEO, we use a certain set of tools to make it easier on us. First, we start with the keyword. And for any site, there's always a long list of keywords we're targeting that get further narrowed down. In this case, we are going to pick a keyword from the keyword strategy for content-first marketing. And let's say we pick the first one, virtual marketing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our site, a WordPress site, and we're going to start the process of creating the blog. The process of creating the blog starts even before we write that first word. It starts with the editor determining what we're targeting and what the topic is. The first thing I'm going to do is create a new post in WordPress with the title being the keyword, and in there I'm going to put some details that we give to the writer. And there are some important things that we have to identify. We need to know how long it is, how many words it should be. We need to have additional keywords we should target within it. And we need to have an overall tone. Is this casual or is this more formal? To make our life easier, we use a plugin by SEMRush. It's called the SEMRush Writing Assistant. I'm going to put my first key phrase in there as the starting point, and then I'm going to ask for recommendations. Now immediately what it's doing is analyzing our post. It's analyzing the readability, the SEO, the originality, and the tone of the voice. The only thing it has right now are the recommendations that we're going to give to the writer. So I'm going to go to the SEO section where I just have that one keyword, and I'm going to click Show More, and I'm going to see where it says Add Recommended Keywords. I might add some of these. So I click on that and it expands out and it gives me more keywords. But more importantly, it even gives me some extended recommendations, a document I can download and give to my writer. And when I look at that document, it will help me understand what needs to go into this blog post. It starts with the first key phrase, but then it starts making additional recommendations. It comes up with other keywords that we can use, very helpful for the writer. It gives us a recommended text length. In some cases, these are really long, and in other cases, they're shorter. In this specific situation, it's only 476 words. We've had other times where it's 2,000 to 3,000 words. It really just depends on what you're targeting. And it also shows the top 10 ranked blog posts on the same topic. This allows us to do some research and figure out how our blog can improve upon those that are already in the top 10. It's a really good idea to read those in the top 10 to get a better idea on how to position the post. And then it's going to give a little detail on each of those for us to use. Now that's all fine and good. We have something to drive our writer, something to help them with writing the blog post, but we need a little bit more. What we can do is we can go and look under the title area and we can get some ideas for other titles. This will give us ideas for different topics. This takes us into the SEMRush tool. Based on our initial topic, virtual marketing, it comes up with all these other subtopics that fall in that category. And within each subtopic, we can see a few different ideas for titles. So for the same example here, say I chose under digital marketing, online marketing made simple, a step-by-step guide. This will give me different headlines I can use and different questions that can be asked. One of the things that we do when we write blogs is we answer a question. Sometimes the question is the title, sometimes the question is posed rhetorically in the blog post and we answer it. The idea being here is we use questions as the driver for what we're writing. So what I'll do is I'll take a few of these and I'll put that in the post initially to help my writer. Once I have that in there, the writer has a little bit more to work with. The next thing that I'm going to do is focus on tone. Depending on where you're writing this, you may be more casual, you may be more formal. Now this is really more about the style or voice of that website. So I'm going to go in and target the tone of voice. And I'm going to make this one a little more casual. And now that I've also made some other changes, I'm going to look for different recommended keywords and remove those that aren't necessary. So now I have something to run with. Now I need to write the blog post. And for the sake of simplicity, I created a very short blog post on the topic of virtual marketing, and we'll see how that works. Now you can see it was given a score of 5.8, a very mediocre score. This blog post was not impressive to the SEMRush tool. And I have virtual marketing as the main key phrase, but apparently I'm not using it enough in the actual post. And then you can see below, I'm only using 3 of the target keywords. The rest aren't being used right now. And that might be intentionally, maybe I don't need those keywords, but if I want SEMRush to evaluate this properly, I should make sure to use the keywords that I intend to use. So let's go into the readability. And you can see that it considers it to be too short. I only wrote 224 words for this. It needs at least 476. And the text is too complicated. It's actually written at a higher reading level than it really needs to be for this more casual topic or more easy to digest topic. And it found this to be somewhat formal. I wanted to be casual, but the way this was written was very formal. So let's make some changes. So now I rewrote it, made it a little bit longer, and changed some things up a little bit. I moved from mediocre to good on the score. Still have some issues with tone of voice, but the SEO and readability is good. Originality is a little weak, could probably improve there. The tone is neutral now. We were targeting casual, but it's coming across as neutral, so we maybe need to soften it up even further. I have more words now. Now I have 608 words, which is a much better word count when the target was 476. This language readability is much better. It's much improved. It likes my title, and it likes the title character, but the title's still too short. That's because all I have in there is the key phrase as the title. We need to do something better there. Now let's look at our SEO. We have the main keyword and we have one of the other key phrases, so we really could add more. So I made a simple change. I changed the title. I made it a little bit longer and I still include the main key phrase in it. And now I have a 8 out of 10 score. It considers it perfect. We can always do a little better, but that's still really good. Perfect score on there. So what I'm doing is I'm evolving the blog post using these tools, helping me to determine tone, helping me determine complexity of language, and helping me determine how this can fit and work for SEO purposes. The thing is, we write blog posts for people to read. We write for humans, but we have to have all the pieces in place so it makes it easy for the machines to index them and to offer them up. Using tools embedded into WordPress, like those from SEMRush, make it so that we can take a blog post, one that's written by a great writer intended for a human audience, and make it optimal, just right, for the robots at Google to read and index and use. I would encourage you to experiment with things like this, see what you can do with your writing. I think you'll find that subtle little tweaks will make readability better and also make it better from an SEO purpose. Hopefully this is helpful. I would love to hear if you use other tools for this type of optimization. If you do, please put those in the comments. As always, I appreciate a subscribe and a like, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.